This, my friends, was, well, it still is, a 70's natural Ike. It was the red pattern. I'll throw the picture in there, down in the corner, so you can see what it used to be. This is what it is now. Hopefully I won't catch too much grief. I'm going to hang on to this with both hands because the hooks are getting into my gloves here. Then I can get it over here where you guys can see it better. But yeah, hopefully I won't catch too much slack for restoring it my way. But I think it came out good enough that I showed some respect. And putting a 2025 twist on it, you know, bringing it up to date a little bit, a little more modern. It was quite a process. I didn't have, you know, I couldn't just sit down, start on it, and completely keep going until the very end. And you know, I had limited time to work on it, but it took probably almost 2 weeks to get it to look like this. Yeah, it looks completely different. I'm just still in shock yet. Yeah, it came out so good. Look how clear. Even the lip came out. You can still see. I can't get it dark enough for you to see, but you can still see where it says natural Ike on it. If I get it right, there you go, kinda. Right there. Still says natural Ike. There's still some scratches here and there and some pits, but compared to what it used to look like, man, look at that paint job. That was a process. I'm not sure if I did it between every coat of paint, but pretty much between every coat of paint, there's a coat of clear coat. And I'm not talking like just a real thin sprayed clear coat. I'm talking dipped in clear coat. I didn't mean to do that, sorry, but dipped in clear coat and put on a rotisserie and sat for 24 hours before I painted on it again. So that's why it kind of looks a little bit like a marble. It's got some depth to it. There's layers there. Come out pretty good. All the speckles are white pearl. Just a dusting of that, so it gives it, when it's in the water, which this will probably never see again, it gives it a little glimmer and shine, and does all kinds of nasty stuff in the water. Come get me, come get me. Yeah, this will go in my personal collection for quite a while, until somebody gives me an ungodly amount of money and says I want it. But the eyes are new. They're not painted on. Originally, they were painted on. And they're on there good, believe me. They look like they could probably pop off, but they won't. They're on there really good. They're super glued on. And then it's got at least 4 coats of clear dipped over them. So, yeah. She's pretty. I'm pretty proud of it. So, but anyway, here's the whole video on how I did it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you don't just watch this and then say, hey, that's cool, and then turn it off. Really, it took me a while to do this. Just sanding alone, getting all the seams and all that out. Making the body alone pristine before I even started painting. You know, there's a little bit of work in this. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Let's take these hooks out of this one. This is a weird design here. Interesting design. This is plastic, but yet they thread in. And I know it's not a solid piece of plastic. I don't think. little tougher, but yeah, one of these hooks. This hook is flat between the two hooks. You can see how it's flat. I don't know, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. This one's broke, so yeah, it got pretty beat up. Let's just see. Since we got it apart, we'll start working on this one first. We'll get back to this one. I might even take the screws off camera. Let's just see what we got going on here. It's in pretty rough shape. It's sun faded. There's no luster at all to the clear coat. It's pretty sun faded. Stained here and there. But we'll just rough it up a little bit. Let's see what we got going on here. Make sure there's no cracks, splits, or broken pieces. This is 600 that I'm going over it with, kind of lightly. Just barely got my thumb pushing down on it. There's no point in removing the paint. It's good primer. But you got to make sure there's no cracks so water can get in. And by giving it a light sanding all over the place, the next paint will stick way better, which is probably just going to be a thin coat of rattle can primer. Very thin coat. I don't even care if I see this color. I bought a old tackle box at a garage sale, tag sale, garage sale, whatever you guys call them. And it had a handful of lures in it. And I actually bought it for the box. I wanted the box for something else. And I happened to have been going through my lures. I'm like, what the hell are all these old things? So I opened up the kit. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So I thought I'd get them out and give them a new life. This one here. Oh, excuse my. I'm stretching across the room here. This one here I made out of a Rapala or Rapella, whichever way you say it. Rapella. Deep Diver 90 had the metal, the big thick metal blade. Let's see if it's in here. I think I still got it. Attaboy. Yeah, right here. I had this off the front of it, and I took that off and sealed the groove that it slid up into. Sealed there's a pin that goes through this. It's a hollow pin that's still in there. I took a toothpick, covered it with glue, and slid the toothpick in there, and then cut it and sealed it. All that is all one piece now. And there's a hole already pre-drilled. I pre-drilled it when the eyes and everything were all centered. I pre-drilled it. That's the hardware I got coming today to finish this off. So that's what I'm saying. And that was listed as a vintage lure as well. So you can see I have no problem. I wanted the wood. I wanted a floater. And this is what it became. This came off old rusted up neps of the same color, and I thought, wow, that looks perfect. So yeah, I like crafting. I like creating things out of something else. And I like fishing muskies. I like fishing northerns. So that became a topwater plug. Well, I just got completely flat out carried away. I sanded it and sanded it and sanded it. I sanded it so smooth across the top you can't even tell it's two pieces anymore. It's perfectly smooth all the way around. The only place I couldn't get was inside there, where that is like a little indentation where the eyelet has to screw all the way down in there. But it's been clear coated. It's dry now. I even put 3000 grit. You're not going to be able to see it because it came out crystal clear on the tongue. There was a bunch of scratches. I sanded for a long time with 3000 grit sanding sponge. Where is it? That's 1000. Right here. 3000. I just went over it and over it and over it. And then when I dipped it into the clear coat, I dipped it from the butt end. This eyelet doesn't even go in it. I just borrowed it. But I dipped it into clear coat and let it sit for a bit. And then pulled it out and let it drip, and then put it on the rotisserie. So the whole thing is sealed now. No water can get in it at all. Yeah, and it's sanded perfectly smooth. The lead is level. There's no bump or indentation where the lead is. So next step is just thin coat of white. Usually I just use rattle can primer. Well, actually next step is to cover this so that doesn't get damaged anymore, because that come out really good. I can't even get it at any angle so you can read it, but you can see where it says Natural Ike perfectly now. Before it was all scratched up. There's still some scratches in it, but it looks way better. But yeah, get some white on it, and then we'll figure out a pattern, and we'll start getting that on afterwards. Came out pretty good. A lot of sanding. Started at 600. Like you guys you've seen pretty much all that. I did one whole side that you guys seen, and then once it was all done, I went over it with 1000 and got that completely done, so all the 600 scratches were out. And then when I did this with the 3000, I just went over this real quick too. So it's smooth. I mean, it is super smooth. It's unbelievably smooth. It's cool. Alright, so yeah, next step, we'll get a base coat on it and figure out a pattern. Let's get some yellow on this thing. I'll try to get it so you can watch, but it's going to focus on this down here, so you should be able to see it. Still don't have, I don't know, I think I got a pattern in mind. I'm going to talk about this This came with a compressor. I'll keep talking. I'll keep working. A compressor. A couple. Three guns, I believe. So nice. It works so nice. Out of the 3 brushes, Most times when I'm doing fins, I just use this. I don't even mask or use a stencil. Because most times when I paint lures, I paint them for the fish. I don't paint them for the fish. I paint them for them. Across halfway, top of it. It'll get lost in the rest of the color, so no point wasting the time doing it. But I want to go halfway up, right to the eyeball there. All the other colors are going to fade into this yellow on the bottom. That's why I'm putting it pretty heavy. Maybe heavy now, but it won't look as heavy when I'm done. I just need complete coverage. That's almost to the top on that side. We'll go a little higher here. Just get a little bit of the overspray to go a little higher on this side, little patches. Because it will change the colors of everything else I spray over it. If I sprayed, a blue, it would turn green. So you want that fade to be even on both sides. Okay, now that we got the yellow and we got our line, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of a aqua, I think it's aqua blue, aquamarine, close enough. We're going to put this across the top. The fade will determine how much I put across here. This is a pretty deep diver, and I don't know, around here our divers lose light quickly, so you want as bright as possible around here. See if we can get some of this on top of it. There we go. Lightly do it from a distance first, just to make sure it's not going to be too powerful with the color of that yellow. You may not need much. See it change in the color of that yellow really quickly. It's turning it a darker green. Okay, so that's doing that. Just got to keep an eye on it, make sure it don't get too carried away. Paint's a little thick, so I got to play with it. I didn't thin it purposely because I'm using high pressure. Because I want as much coverage as quickly as possible. Alright, now that we got the top line the way I want it, now I'll start fading it in. Get my hand in the right position. I gotta be able to see the sides. We're pretty much gonna shoot just to the top of the eye, but I gotta get a right angle at it. Just like that. down into that nice, really light green, transferring up into that dark green. That's what you're looking for right there. Flip her over. Make sure you get into the right position. So it's all about equal spray all the way across the top. That one a little lighter on the trigger, so I went over it a little bit more than I did this side. Still need to. That's the fun about airbrush, is you can control it right from the get-go. Sometimes it just falls right into place like the first one did. That's not bad there. Kind of matches, huh? So it goes right halfway. There we go. Yeah, we're working it. Just come a little at a time, and you'll get what you're looking for. If you rush it, you can't go back. There it is. That's all we're looking for. Just a slight shade of green on the sides with a darker shade on the top, going into the darker yellow on the bottom. That's how you fade two colors to look like multicolor. I gotta start wearing a mask. I'm breathing too much of this stuff. Okay, well this took a few minutes for me to figure out which way to finagle that on there. And now that I got it, I'm not gonna screw around. I'll show you the end result here in a second. We're going to give this a super light coating of blue, this blue right here that you see. Just enough to make a shadow. I'm going to try to hold this gently. Hopefully this is all on the camera. But I'm going to try to hold it gently. There, see, I just moved it. God darn it. It's got to sit right there. It cannot move. There we go. Okay, here we go. Just gonna make a shadow. Pretty much stay on the white. Warming this airbrush up for a little while to make sure I was able to do this. You gotta have it so it sprays consistently nice. I think we got it. Let me set this down carefully because I don't want to smudge anything. Yes, sirree, Bob. There it is. That's one side. I'm going to try to do the around the bottom of the eye from the bottom up. This is going to be kind of fun. Hopefully I can do it. Has to work perfect or it won't work at all. I'm not even sure I want to try it, because it's not really playing the game I want it to play. I won't be able to do the other side of this till that dries good, and I might even clear coat it. I probably will. Alright, get the spray going. So I can fade it in this way. About it. It's not bad. I think I pretty much got it. There we go. Yeah. Alright, all cleaned up. Let's get some orange underneath this thing. It's actually red, but it's a red orange. It's called Havana red. But I put real red next to it, and it's got a lot more orange in it, and that's exactly what I want. Because if I put red on here, it's orange anyway. Not going to go far. I don't want it to get up into that green too much. Because it'll turn purple or brown, and I don't want that. I think I will go up to where that lead is, just to make it cover that lead hole. And I think I'm even on both sides. Right. Alright, now we'll give it a quick shot. Right up through the middle. Just a real quick one. Maybe two. You gotta get it spraying. Half you want. Just to blend it in a little. I'm holding it way back, and it's such a fine mist. There we go. I kept the yellow, gave me some red, put a little orange, kept the yellow. That's exactly what we were looking for right there. Nice. Sometimes if you turn it around like I just did, I was just doing that out of habit, I think, and then come at it this way. Your fade looks nice. It's not bad. See how I blended that in way better. I might even go a little more over here. I think I'm gonna. The fun part about airbrush, you can always fix things as long as you stay light. Don't jack it off. Put a whole bunch on there all at once. That'll just screw you. Just trying to lightly bring that fade together without losing too much of that orange there. I mean that yellow, sorry. This side's good, I think. Let me look at it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, I think we're going to end up having to throw it in clear coat and put it on the rotisserie so I can do this side with the stripe, because if I try to put that plastic piece on there, it'll scratch everything that I just did right off. So we'll be back. Okay, there we go. I think I got it in the position I need, and I'm using that blue one back there for reference. Make sure I don't spray too much, though. The idea is to spray just the very edge and let the overspray fill that. If you tried to spray it just in that, it would go underneath it, and yeah, it would make a big mess. I want to get a better grip on this. Hold on. This is not working for me. I want to be able to control it better. Have my hand resting like this. There we go. Now I feel better, but I can't have this finger on top because that'll create a void. So I gotta have it totally out of the picture. Alright, let's do this. I think I got it. Double check. We're going for it. Here we go. Now, we just gotta run it along this edge here. Ooh, that's the glove. Sorry for the noise. Look at it. I can actually deal with that. This one might be a tad darker in comparison, which it looks like it for sure. But let's. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I can live with that. They both come down right to where that yellow line meets the orange. swing better. And they line up well enough where my next shot going across will blend that all in nicely. And if the brush wasn't spitting right now, we would do that. Oh, let's do it. Let's try it. I don't mind if he spits on this. That's why I said, oh, let's try it. That'll actually look kind of cool if he spits on it. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, buddy. Alright. I ran it through clear coat right away. And yeah. That looks pretty good. I like it. It came out even. The little spits here and there really just put a little bit more into it. Couldn't have worked out better that it spit right when it did, right at the end like that. But now what we're going to do is, whoops, let me get this set up first so I'm not fumbling around all the time. I don't really like how that faded like it did. Not a fan of it, let's put it that way. It looks okay, but it's not really what I want. So I put a little bit of buttercream yellow. So we're going to try to soften up that transformation there. It's going to be, I wish I could turn it around actually, but we're going to do the best we can with what we got here. Let's see what happens. Come from the ass end and pull it back. Just too much of a bright orange underneath. I didn't really like it. I think that's a little better. Okay, well, what you guys didn't see was me peeling the tape off the tongue or the lip, and boy did that come out nice and clear, huh? Can you see it? You can see right through that bad boy. That come out really nice. But anyway, as I was taking the tape off, the whole front, not the whole front, but a spot in the front of this peeled the paint off because I forgot to cut it straight with a X-Acto all the way around first. And I peeled it slow, but still, I watched it actually happen, and I was like, oh crap. So then I cut it and took the tape off the rest of the way, and it still did damage. So I went over it with some black to help fix the damage. And now we're going to go back over this with some blue. I wanted a darker shade of blue in the face anyway, so I guess it was a gift, kind of. But what I'm doing now is I got this cut out because I don't want to remask everything, because this has all been dipped again in clear as one solid unit. You guys may have noticed how many times I put this thing in clear coat. This thing looks like a marble when you look through it at the side and look at the depth of all the paint. It looks like a marble. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I cut that out. As you can see, it's the shape of the very front of the bait, where I don't want the paint to get on the lip. So I just put it right up against that, and that way all I got to do is just put my finger here, and with the weight of this, that's not going to go anywhere, as long as I don't fumble around in this paper like I just did. And just hold it right here, and we're just going to go back over that black with some blue, and just to shade it back into to be blue again, but it'll be a darker blue in the front now because we have the black as a base. And that was my whole mission, to do what I'm doing right now. So we'll get some spray going and just work it right up like we would as if we were just starting to paint it from the beginning. And go all the way up to the end. Just so the blue that's going to be black down here will kind of fade in with the blue that's already blue up there. I'm sure you've heard me talk about fades so many times now. Now what I'm doing is, when you see me doing this, is I'm letting the fade run down the side of the bait a little bit. Right. Get it going again. Going down the side. Like that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I don't know how much of this you guys are going to be able to see, because I got to hold this just right in order to see it and block the paint from getting on this. But I want to get a little bit of this butter yellow on the bottom again, just to cover up a little bit more of that black. We have to make that right there, you know. I don't want to get too carried away. Just enough to make it, yeah, just like that. Make it all come back to looking like a fish again. Because I was not real happy about that peeling off. We are so close to the end, guys. One last thing to do. A little bit of shine underneath here. Take away a little bit of that black that we put on. Give it a little bling. Primarily just on the bottom here, because this is where we did all the touch-up painting, you know. I didn't like all that extra orange, so I put some butter yellow on there, and I never went back over it again with the white pearl. I covered over the first shot of white pearl that I did, so I'm pretty much just giving it another little extra. But this gun, as you know, I've told you before, has a really hard time with shooting metallics and pearls. So I almost gotta give it a good shot of 50 pounds to get it to go. And I really don't mind, actually. Not right now. This is the last thing we're gonna do. I don't want to get too much on the top, but I want to get a little. We want to have that effect of depth. Before I sprayed this, I got to looking at it, and it's going to be hard to tell now because I just put all that spray on it, but because I put so many layers of clear coat in between the paint, I was showing a friend, and he's like, it looks like an aquarium. And I was like, wow, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, it's so much depth that it's really cool. Alright, well, there she is. This is done. After this, it is hooks, new eyelets and hooks. But it'll get one good clear coat right now, and it might get another after that, because I want it to really be protected on the outside now. So now that we did that, let's get that little piece of cat hair off of there. Now that that's done, I'm going to air dry this, blow dry this, I mean, to make sure it's heat set real good, and then run it on the rotisserie with clear coat. And the next time you see me, we may be putting hooks on, but I might skip that and just show you the end result. I don't know, we'll see. But whatever, I'll see you then. Alright guys, she's finally done. I'm using my phone to do this video because it takes much better videos as far as detail. But yeah, she come out pretty nice. I don't even want to put my fingerprints on it. That's how nice it came out. All brand new hardware. I put eyes on it. The other eyes on the original were painted, but you can still see where it says Natural Ike, and that's as transparent as you can get on that lip. I buffed the crap out of that. I worked my way up to 3000 grit to get that, all the scratches out of that. But I think it come out pretty darn good. Here, hold on a second. Now you can see. Let me get my grip on it. There's a lot of depth in there. Maybe not every coat of paint that I painted, but just about every coat of paint was had clear coat put on after it. So that's where you get your depth. That's what makes it look like a marble and certain angles or whatever. Yeah, I like it. Come out really good. Even the repair come out really good. Doesn't even look like it was repaired. When I peeled the tape, you can kind of see it right there behind the eye, the eyelet. You can kind of see where it peeled the paint up off there because of my foolishness of not going around it with an X-Acto and breaking the seal first before I pulled the tape. Rookie move that I know better. But anyway, this came out really nice. It may never see water again. It probably won't. It'll go in my collection for a while until somebody offers me an ungodly amount of money and I give it to them. But I'm gonna like looking at this one for a while. Hopefully you guys approve of my restoration. This is a 1970 something Natural Ike is what the lure was called. Now I sanded this down. You see at the very beginning of the video, you know, there was a crease line across the top, all the way around the thing. There was a crease line. You could see where the lead, I don't even think you can see that now. No, you can't. Right behind the eyelet, there's a lead hole where they put a chunk of lead in, and you can't even see that at all. That's totally gone now. Come out really good. I'm kind of proud of it. It's got white pearl. All those specks you see are white pearl. That's done purposely so when it goes through the water, see the light it reflects. I mean, it's made to fish with, but like I said, it'll probably never see water again. I like it. What do you guys think? Took long enough. Took about 2 weeks to get this totally done from beginning to end with the limited time that I have. I like it very much.